We want buyer accountability. We want,
Yes.
prevention and education and the access to an advocate. And I think that's exactly where I was going with the decrim thing or the defund thing. If you defund, fully, we don't want to see is the special unit for trafficking victims being taken out. And so that's something we need. We need more advocates. We need someone to respond, besides a police officer for an adult in these situations, so that they're willing to accept these services and they have someone that's coming out that has lived it would be preferable.
Yeah.
Uh, but as far as buyer accountability, I would like to see more implementation of the stopping sexual exploitation classes that are already court mandated throughout King County. This needs to go all throughout Washington State, all throughout the United States. These classes are necessary for buyers to understand the harms that they're creating to society. And also that restorative justice to, be able to understand and then do better and have the option to
Absolutely.
give back, whatever that looks like. And also the fines and fees that are coming from these cases being reallocated to survivors, to direct service agencies where that money can go directly to helping survivors exit if they're willing, if they want or they can do so. I think that's so important. Um,
Absolutely. We don't have any of these implemented currently.
yeah,
Um, I do think that we definitely need some SSE classes. We have a John school here. It is completely ineffective in my opinion. Um, we do need money allocated back into our services because one, we already have a shortage, and then two, we need to keep investing in the few that we do have. Um, I personally think that they need to implement some type of trafficking prevention course or seminar or something in schools. Um, Sometimes when you in New York, when you hear about it being spoken about in high schools, it's usually in the form of like a guest speaker once in a blue, or like a parent on the PTA was like, I heard this seminar and I think we should talk about it, but there's nothing in the schools that are actually there and standard for everybody. Um, and I definitely support having a 24/7 advocate because we don't have it. And oftentimes, like you said, the first responders are not people that are trained in this or that know what it looks like or know how to talk or approach that situation. If we could find a way to get funding for that, I think that would be super, super amazing.
yeah, definitely. I think the trafficking prevention for schools, you had spoke on that upstream, catching it before we just have to triage and just implementing that in high schools. They're getting classes on sex education and consent and talking about these things. Trafficking needs to be something that's talked about too, because this is something that is prevalent, that it does happen and people don't talk about it, don't see it, maybe not, don't even have education on it until they get to college if they're lucky. Even when I was in college at UW, I never took a class on this. I mean, I A, lived it, but B, got my education through my internship.
Right.
uh, and so this is something that needs, our children need to to learn, be educated on.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. Great. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Melanie, for coming today. This is a great conversation. I think the Nordic model and just a deeper understanding of what it is has really been explained. And I hope that this can reach a broad audience of people. Um, so moving forward, we are going to have a webinar, the Human Collaborative. We're going to have a webinar series. So every, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks. If you go to our website, the next one is on the page. It's going to be Survivor Voices Elevated. So we have some amazing speakers. I believe their bios are on the page as well. So I just want to thank you again to all the policymakers and everyone who took the time out to educate yourself. That's your job. That's what we are here to do for you. So thank you so much for taking your time to come here today and listen to me and Melanie, survivors who have something to say and want a seat at the table. So thank you
Thank you.
everyone for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.